Hey guys, so this is the nutrition focused part of the tutorial about Beachbody on Demand, so you know where to find everything and really how to get started on the right foot with your nutrition. So I'm going to just share my screen with you and just kind of start right from the beginning. So let's get rid of my face. You go to beachbodyondemand.com, sign in with the email that you enrolled with, and it'll bring you to this screen. And really, depending on the program that you are getting started with, you'll go to that specific program's nutrition guide. But they really all follow the same sort of layout. So I'm just going to we'll go to lift 4, and you're going to go to program materials and then program and nutrition guide. And you saw this one in the on-demand tutorial, but I just want to get into a little bit more detail here. So hello, Joel. This is going to give you a quick start guide, just really the down and dirty of how to get started right. So make sure you read through all of this. It talks about all the materials, the different workouts, and most importantly, our nutrition. So first thing on your to-do list is to take your measurements and your before and after pictures. Trust me, you will thank yourself. You are going to want to see the results that you get, and it can be really good motivation for people because we don't necessarily see it in the day-to-day, but when we go from week 1 to week 4, we can see it, and then week 1 to week 8, we can really see all the changes that we've made. So please make sure that you are taking all of these measurements and taking your before, or not even before and after, but they can just be progress photos. So that's step 1. Get on board with Shakeology. It is a game changer for your nutrition. You can go through all of this and read all about it. Ask me your questions. It is the nutrition that we are all lacking. It is quick, easy, convenient, super delicious, and it just gives your body what it's really been needing. So this is kind of a more basic way, the Lift 4 nutrition plan, of calculating our nutritional needs. So depending on what your goals are, you'll go through and you'll find your weight. So currently I'm pregnant, but I'd be in plan B. And this is really for a weight loss. It's a weight loss plan. So if you are not looking to lose weight, and there's a note down below about this, but if you are not looking to lose weight, if you are looking to maintain or build, you're going to bump yourself up 2 plans. So if I'm starting in plan A, but I just want to maintain, I'm going to bump myself up to plan C and follow this one. So this is based on our container system. So it's basically the portion control system. So we have our green container, which is veggies, fruits are purple, proteins are red, carbs are yellow, healthy fats are blue, seasoned dressings are orange, and oils and nut butters are a teaspoon. Excuse me. This will tell you the number of those portions that you can have of that certain food group each day in order to get the best results. I promise you, you are not going to go hungry. This is plenty of food. The only no I would say, plan A can be very little food depending on how much you're used to eating, and where you fall in the spectrum of these. But for the most part, it's plenty of food, and there are things that we can do. Make sure you get this. You can write this down. There are sheets and trackers everywhere that you can use to do that. There are apps and everything, and I'll touch on that in a second. But there are also tips here, like, are you really hungry, or are you bored, or is this habit? Like, is it physical hunger, or is it mental hunger? So a lot of mindset work here also. These are our containers. And if you have a set of these, dig them out, start using them now. If you don't, they're $7 to order. Grab yourself a set and you are good to go. Gives you a sample menu, you guys. So seriously, you can just take this and do this for a week if you wanted to really get the hang of it. And I would really recommend that you take it easy, keep it simple, and just really get used to the whole idea of doing portion control before you start doing anything fancy. There's some information about all of our performance supplements, which if you haven't tried to energize or recover, you need to. It's going to help you kick butt in your workouts, and they're delicious. So these are some really good tips on how to quote unquote cheat. I don't really like the word cheat. I prefer treat, but it's all about a lifestyle, and we're not about restricting. So first tip is to know yourself. And like it says over here, if you know that having a donut is going to lead you to eating a dozen donuts, maybe you shouldn't eat a donut. Maybe you should try something else that might satisfy your sweet craving. But this gives some really great tips on how to incorporate that. And so it's truly a lifestyle change and not just a diet. So here's your grocery list. They spell it right out for you. The higher at the top the food is, the more nutritional value it has. So most of the time you should be eating from like the top third of the list, but don't be afraid to, like, the stuff at the bottom of the list, mushrooms, eggplant, pickles, cucumbers, those aren't necessarily bad for you. And having a combination is great. And it gives you a ton of different ideas and options here. So I literally print these out. I highlight what me and my family like for food, and I make my grocery list from that. So the first, veggies and fruits, those are our first biggest food groups. Then we go to proteins and carbohydrates. So carbs are allowed. They are healthy carbs. There's, you're not going to find French fries or anything on here. These are things like sweet potatoes. Guys, beans are a carb. They have protein, but they're mostly carbs, so they count as a yellow container. Be careful of those. Make sure you go over these lists and get to know what these certain foods are, how much of which foods count as a serving. It gives you the measurements right next to them. So even if you don't have the containers, there's no reason for you not to know what the portion sizes are. It mentions beach bars here, which is a combo food, but they are delicious and they're awesome to have as a snack. Have some in the car for on the go. But you have so many options here for your lean proteins and your carbohydrates. Shakeology counts as one red portion. Your healthy fats, seeds and dressing, nuts and butters are here. Guys, when I learned that a serving of peanut butter was only 1 teaspoon, I was a little upset. But most of the plans have like 4 or 5 servings of those. So I was happy about that. This also goes into your free foods, which don't, really count as any of your containers. So you don't have to mark anything off. And if you want to use something different than water for your shake base, it gives you the options right over here if you're using milk or almond milk or anything like that. We have different recipes and bases for your Shakeology. Beverage tips: water, black coffee, and tea. Over here, some additional things that you can add to help you if you're not a huge fan of plain water or plain black coffee. And then just, your final tips. So that is really I'm going to go back here. The basic layout of most of the programs on Beachbody On Demand. The next thing that I want to show you, it's actually in the workout list, and it is Fixate. So this is the healthy, I'm going to go back to workouts here. This is a healthy cooking show that we are lucky enough to have, and it's not just like a one-time thing, guys. There are hundreds of recipes, and they add more every single week. So if you complain that you don't know what to eat and you don't have recipes, let me find it here. Where'd it go? I must have passed it. If you're complaining that you don't have any new recipes to try or anything like that, then you are not taking advantage. Let's go to the bottom of all of the stuff on Fixate. Where'd it go? No way. Oh, I think it's under, actually, it is under nutrition. So you go to your nutrition tab up here at the top, and we have, these are completely different programs. Ultimate Portion Fix, To Be Mindset, amazing deeper dive into what I'm talking about right now. They come with a ton of different resources and workbooks, probably separate videos on that, so I'm not talking forever. But the last thing I wanted to do is show you what Fixate is and how to get access to all of the recipes. So you can watch the videos. They're like 3 to 5 minutes long of them. This is Autumn's brother, who's a professional chef, and they cook all the recipes and show you how to do it. These videos are kind of how to get started, and they give you some really, really awesome tips on what to buy for your pantry, how to prep, how to use the containers, oh look, how to cut and chop things different ways, like just really valuable information. I like to print mine out, so I'm going to resources, and I'm going to, there's a tip sheet, but I go to this Fixate recipe list, and it has a ton of different recipes, and I have not tried a recipe from this list that me or my family hasn't liked yet. It takes a while to load because there are a crap ton of them, but you can go through and you can actually like click on any of this stuff. It's separated: breakfast, entrees, soups and salads, snacks, sides, desserts, drinks. So you can literally click on Mexican chicken tortilla soup. This is a new one, actually, I think. And so it goes up here, like the GF means gluten-free. It tells you how many containers are in each serving. It tells you what a serving size is down here. And they're pretty simple. Most of them are pretty simple recipes. There's not a ton of weird ingredients, and they're usually not super complicated. It gives you a few little notes. It gives you all the nutrition information down at the bottom. But take advantage of this, you guys. You can print one or all this entire thing out if you want. There are different things. So this is an 80-day obsession approved recipe. So if you're doing 80-day obsession, that's good to know. It also has a little O after it, so you can tell by that. But there are so many recipes on here. You should never run out of new stuff to try. So there's that. And I think that's about it for the nutrition part. I'm here to answer any questions that you might have and help you get started. If you need help, some of the programs do have you actually calculate out your nutritional and your caloric needs. So if you need help with any of that, please reach out to me. I don't know that you need my help unless you ask. I will check in as much as I can, but I want you to be successful with this, and that means informing yourself and learning about this stuff. There's a bit of a learning curve, but I promise it gets easier as time goes on. And before you know it, you're just going to be doing this stuff. It's going to be second nature to you, and you're going to be feeling better and looking better, and you're going to be so happy that you did this. So make sure you send me your questions, and I'll talk to you soon.